Go select.
Hey, what's good guys? Gordon here, back with another video. Today I'm going to show you guys some aggro zoo. This is an aggressive version of zoo where we have a lot of one drops. So basically we're going to be pushing for board early and then be hitting their face a lot, trying to go for a early finish before they can stabilize. I run one Doomguard and one Leroy. So the second Leroy is in place of one of the Doomguards, and that's mostly because I don't like running two Doomguards, because if I have both of them in hand, then it feels really bad, you know? I'll basically have to either discard my whole hand or discard one of the Doomguards. So we did hit our one drop, which is pretty nice. Paladins usually have a pretty hard time dealing with flame whips. Unless they have a blue Go Warrior, of course. Should have played around that. That was my bad. It doesn't seem that we have a 3-drop, which could be a problem. So the order, I switch it first and then I knife juggle, but that's okay. I kind of wish this was like an in-game boss, and I hit the juggle, but I don't know if I would even take that chance if I had a in-game boss. Okay. I'm going to buff the knife juggler because if the knife hits, I can trade in my my 2/2. I value my knife juggler over the 2/2, even though it has more health. So here he could have a true silver, which would be pretty bad for us. He kind of demolishes our board with 2 true silver. We don't have that much of a board. One thing to keep in mind is a consecration. Okay. So that was he killed one guy, but it did cost him a pyromancer, which is good for us because now he can't do the pyro equality combo, and he also did use up a forbidden healing. So that's a huge loss in tempo for him, especially on turn 5. He might as well play Holy Wrath. So, in the interest of playing around consecration, because the dog and the rituals die to that, I'm going to play a little bit off curve, float a mana, but it should be fine. It's his second Hammer of Wrath, wow. Hold on. So we should be tapping pretty much every turn. Let's get more burst. And this guy will go there as a death roll minion. And we'll send that to the face. I basically want as many things to survive consecration as possible because that's coming. Maybe not right now, but it'll be here. Alright. So again, let's tap. I'm going to buff these two, this one for trading, and I'll send 3 damage here to make another guy. Um, so let's take a look. Is this lethal? So we're gonna pop the shield, of course. Put this one on. Doesn't matter. It's lethal either way. So the paladin, while he's super anti-aggro with equality consecrate or power equality combos and forbidden healings, he didn't foresee the huge amount of burst I had in hand. It was a total of 13, 2 power whelmings and a Doomguard to kind of rush his face. Even the Tyrion couldn't save him. So next up is Shaman. Depending on whether this is mid-range or aggro, I'm going to have to adjust my playstyle a little bit. Basically, if it's aggro, I need to stall as much as possible in the early game. Because as good as Zoo is in the early game, Shaman is probably better sometimes, depending on their draw. Tunnel Trog into Totem Golem is pretty much one of the best starts out of any class, in my opinion. So again, we got our 1-drop. Very nice. That's pretty lucky, actually. This synergizes great with both Knife Juggler and Dark Shard Councilman because the Death Battle triggers both of their abilities. So I will want to play the Knife Juggler, most likely, unless I'll need the Wolf to send in. So right here, I believe our best course of action is the Imp Gang Boss. I chose this over the Councilman because this, number 1, is summons more guys for us, which is going to be really useful to deal with his totems, to deal with his smaller guys, and also okay, so here we have 3 juggles, potentially. Hopefully one of the juggles hits 3-2. So this does severely play into Lightning Storm, but we'll see if he has it. Even if he does have it, it summons us a guy, and it only kills the Voidwalker 50% of the time. So he's gonna wanna definitely get rid of the Knife Juggler as soon as possible. We're gonna see what we can get from here. And Voidwalker seems pretty good. I'm gonna place this here to kill off the Totem Golem. And then I believe we can just go face. He didn't have Lightning Storm last turn. And right now, he's in the position to have to make the trades, which means that we should take advantage of that while we could. While we can. Our dog is right where we want it, right in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. He got a Totem Golem, but what can he do about it? He's forced to totem. Good for us. And he decides to kill off a guy. Cool. Ooh, another dog. Alright. So for this one, I think I'm going to use that one to kill the totem golem. But we'll play the Dark Shadow Councilman first. And we'll send the totem, the token into his totem, so he can't kill off our dog. Next turn we might have to discard whatever we top deck, but it's most likely going to be Voidwalker into Doomguard. Ooh. Okay, so I don't think we're going to discard the Power Overwhelming. That's a bit too powerful. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to kill off the totem. Place this right here for maximum damage. Oh. That is so embarrassing. Well, let's just pretend I meant to do that and rush his face. What can you do, right? It was all part of the plan, guys. Oh, man. Yeah, there's no denying it. I kind of fucked up there. But I hope you guys can forgive me. I ended up doing the no-brainer smork play and got rewarded for it. Feels good, man. Now I know how face hunters and aggro shamans feel. Get rewarded for being a dumbass. Am I right? King Boss is one of our best options against Warrior. Any single target removal will usually give us a guy, such as Shield Slam or a big weapon like Warhowl. The reason it's good in the early game is because they often don't have what's necessary to kill it off too efficiently. Like Warx only has 3 attack, for example, whereas King Boss has 4 health. So even though it's pretty bad to tap in the early game, that was the entire turn. I'm gonna do so anyways because he coined that out. So he is aggro. Interesting. He's either really confident or he's actually like a aggressive warrior. Alright, so it gives us a couple guys. Should be fine. I want to play the in-game boss once again. You saw how inefficiently he had to deal with it. And next turn, hopefully in-game boss and the death rattle can give me some extra... Is he really? Wow. Okay. I value the ping over the attack gain. Alright, so how we're gonna deal with this warrior is we have to build up not a huge board, because he has that, but build up a hand so that we can deal with whatever the warrior has. Let's throw some tentacles at him. This does kind of play into his ghoul, but there's not really much I can do about that. Ghoul is pretty terrible for Zoo, whether or not you play tentacles. Like, Zoo has so many one-health minions, like Abusive Sergeant, things you find from Dark Peddler, these little tentacles. So you're going to always want to look at how much damage you have. So right now we have 2 plus 5, 7, 11, 13. So 13. So we don't have lethal quite yet. So we're going to want to keep pushing into his face. If this hits 3-2, I could have traded into it. Or, I mean, mortal coiled it, sorry. Maybe the RNGs... Maybe RNG just knows best. Maybe give it only 1 ping so I cannot trade into my 2-3. Maybe the face damage is more important right now. What do I know, right? So I have made the mistake before of playing Doomguard first and discarding the power wings. But I've embarrassed myself enough in this recording. So that was actually easier than I thought it would be, given how warriors are usually Zoo's worst matchup, from having tools like Brawl and Ghoul. He did use those on us, but we had a strong enough board to kind of retake the board enough, and then of course have the burst to finish him off. So we're going to save those for later. Again, we're keeping Imp Gang Boss, as it's one of the best minions against Warrior for Zoo. I don't usually like keeping the coin, using the coin on turn 1, but it should be fine. I don't want to give him the Knife Juggler if he has the War Axe, so I'll play this first, and then Flame Whip should be just fine. So we're going to have to keep up the pressure. He does get to kill a Knife Juggler, but there's not much we can do about that. Let's go with the Imp King Boss. He gets 2 cards from the Acolyte, but and we're not too happy about that, but okay, he gets 3 draws. Impressive. It would have been more or less the same if we had played the Flame Imps. Except he would only get 2 draws. He would probably play the Ghoul, set them to 1, and he would still have the Execute too. This war just has every answer. It's amazing. Is that a shield sling? Wow, okay. Well, he's exhausting his resources pretty quickly, even though he drew 3 cards off Acolyte, which is pretty insane, actually. I do want to trade in the imp. Having some connectivity issues right now, but it should be fine. What was he pointing at my face for? Interesting. Okay. So let's go ahead and tap first. See what we get. Right now, his Cthulhu's Chosen can't kill our councilman, which is pretty good. So what we can go is Bran to Abusive Sergeant to put some massive face damage. This does give him the trade into Bran, but he should be all out of ways to deal with our Abusive Sergeant, which has a really nice trade. And I'm still going to value tapping every single turn, but I will play 5 tentacles. This would be pretty bad if he had another ghoul, but given that he just played one and he's only less than halfway through his deck, I'm going to assume that he doesn't hold the other one. So let's go ahead and discover a card first. Mortal Coil, very nice. I'm going to try to get value off of these tentacles, and then we'll be able to coil it after these 3 attack into it. Alright, we picked up 1 power only. Excellent. We're going to tap and throw that Death Rattle guy on the right, and then hit his face for 2. Okay. So he is removing our minions pretty much almost as quickly as we are developing them. But okay. Let's go ahead and get that out there. And his weapon still has 5 attacks, so we're going to have to protect it at all costs by taunting up these 2. And let's send this in for 1 less bad brawl outcome. And that should be it. I want to keep this taunt. So it looks like he probably is going to brawl. Or not. His face is looking very, very low. Although he does have that. I'll put on here to kill that. So this is what I mean when Warrior usually has a pretty good matchup against Zoo. They just have so much armor gaining potential and Cthulhu. So we simply weren't fast enough this game. But that's okay. Stalls our win streak, but let's try to find one more. Hopefully it's not a warrior again. There's so many warriors on the ladder right now. There's so many variants of warrior that are viable right now. We've got Dragon Warrior, Cthulhu Warrior, Control, Tempo, Pirate. It's pretty insane. So we went to a rare hunter these days. Not that they're unpopular, because Punter is actually very, very powerful. With like High Main and Call the Wild, of course, everyone knows that. But still, these days warriors and shamans are way more popular than Hunter. So unless we can find a Void Walker, I don't think I'm going to play the Night Juggler. Argus Squire is great. I'm probably going to play that with the Night Juggler next turn. So we have a ton of burst here. That's 10 damage worth of burst for just 3 mana. It's rather unfortunate. Okay. So he's forced to throw in his guys. But we can start building up our Dark Shard Councilman. If he decides to play a High Main right now, which of course he has, then there's not much we can do about that. But we will summon a ton of guys and rush his face. Because most likely he's going to have to kill the councilman with the High Main. And that's lethal. So that really just does show the power of Zoo. After that horrific first few turns, was still able to just pull through the power of the burst from Power Only and the flexibility of their 1-drops. And yeah, and on that note right there. And so yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave a thumbs up if you did. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.